Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to commend Congressman Davis for all the work that he's done on this. As you know, getting 190 bipartisan co-sponsors on legislation is not an easy task, and certainly people aren't doing that because they like Congressman Davis. This is actually very good policy. Mr. Chairman, I want to take a step back and, good friend. I want to take a step back and talk about what this is. This current policy that dates back to the late 1970s actually penalizes public employees, those that have put their lives on the line as police officers, as firefighters, as emergency medical service personnel, those that have put their lives I think, on the line for the future of our children as teachers. I am married to an educator, and for the record, she would not benefit from this amendment. Clearly our teachers are underpaid. They play such an important role in the future of our country. What's happened is dating back to the late 1970s, early 1980s, there were changes in policy. One of them is called Windfall Elimination Provision. The other one's called the Government Pension Offset. Under the Windfall Elimination Provision, you can actually have your Social Security benefits cut in half. You can have them cut in half. This affects 3.5% of American households. On average, if you're affected by one of these, your Social Security benefits are cut by 1/5. If you're affected by both, your Social Security benefits could be cut by 1/3. So I'll say it again. Mr. Chairman, we are penalizing those public servants that in many cases were underpaid and have put their lives on the line for our communities. This amendment would simply take the text of the Congressman Davis bill, H.R. 1205, which again, 190 bipartisan co-sponsors, one of the easiest amendments we've ever written. We cut and pasted the text. And as per the graphic that I believe you may have, this demonstrates what happens. If someone worked as a security officer and then decided to become a police officer, got the training and became a full-fledged police officer, as you can see, their Social Security benefits would go from nearly $1,800 a month cut down to $800. So once again, penalizing them for being a public employee, for entering public service. Mr. Chairman, being a former state employee myself, who I'll say again, I do not anticipate would profit from this legislation. I can tell you the people that I worked with, they viewed it as mission work. We couldn't afford to pay these people what they deserved. They worked very hard. They were dedicated to the mission and did extraordinary work in recovering our state from Hurricanes Katrina, Rita, and other disasters. A great group of people. They don't deserve to receive a deduction or reduction in their benefits. The other one, very briefly, is government pension offset. That affects the spouses of deceased public employees and results in a significant reduction in their Social Security benefits. If the death of a spouse wasn't awful enough, we are adding salt to the wound by further reducing the benefits that they would otherwise receive had their spouses not been in public service. So I urge adoption of the amendment. I do want to make note, I believe that we are on in some gray areas in regard to germaneness, but this legislation does affect retirement security, and we believe it's complementary to the bill. Happy to answer any questions.